I put my brother-in-law's name on the accident report. So this all started because my brother-in-law Derek doesn't have a license. Never has. He lost it years ago for something nobody in the family will actually say out loud, and he spent the whole time since acting like that's just an unfair little inconvenience the world owes him a favor for. Anyway, a couple weeks back, my wife and I let Derek borrow our second car. And by let, I mean my wife said yes before she asked me, and I found out when I saw him pulling out of our driveway. I was annoyed, but I let it go, because that's what I do. I let things go. 3 hours later, I get a call. Not from Derek, from my sister-in-law, his wife, and she's already crying. There was an accident, everybody's fine, but the car's kind of bad, and Derek needs you to come down here. So I drive over. Derek's standing on the side of the road next to our very crunched car, and there's another guy there, older, holding his neck like it hurts, and a cop writing stuff down. And Derek jogs over to me before I even get the door shut and goes, "Okay, so don't freak out. I told him you were driving." I just looked at him. "You what? Dude, I can't have another thing on my record. You know that. You've got a clean license, insurance, all that. It's easier this way. You just say you were driving and it's fine. It's basically nothing." "Derek, there's a guy over there holding his neck. He's exaggerating. He's fine." He said it loud enough that the guy heard, which was great. So the cop comes over and asks who was operating the vehicle, and Derek looks at me with his face. This expectant, entitled little face. Like I'd already agreed. Like we were a team. And honestly, up until that exact second, I think part of me was going to do it. That's the embarrassing part. I've spent 15 years being the guy who smooths everything over so nobody in the family gets upset. I was standing there literally forming the words. Then the guy with the neck says real quiet, "He came through the light. I had green." And Derek turns around and goes, "Nobody asked you, man." And that's when I stopped smoothing. I told the officer I wasn't driving, I wasn't even here. That's my car, but he took it. His name's Derek. I spelled it. I gave the guy Derek's full legal name, his address, his date of birth, all of it, right there on the report while Derek stood next to me making this strangled noise like a kettle. He grabbed my arm. "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm telling him what happened. "You're gonna ruin me. You know I don't have a license. So why were you driving?" The cop asked Derek to confirm his information, and Derek just went white and quiet, which the cop took as a yes because it was. We didn't talk the whole ride back to his place. My sister-in-law wouldn't look at me. When I dropped them off, she said, "I hope you're happy," and I said, "Not really, no," which was true. By the time I got home, my wife already knew because Derek had called her from the driveway apparently. She met me at the door with her arms crossed. "You threw my sister's husband under the bus. He drove our uninsured second car without a license and hit a man, and then he put my name on it without asking me. I didn't throw him under anything. He was already lying under there. He panicked. People panicked. He didn't panic. He had a plan. The plan was me." She said the family was going to be furious. She said her mom was going to call. She said I could have just handled it quietly like I always do. And that last part is the one that got me. Like I always do. Like it was my assigned job. Like being the person who eats it so nobody has to feel a consequence was just a chore on my list. Right under taking out the trash. So I said I'm not doing that anymore. If Derek wants his name off that report, he can go explain to the officer why it shouldn't be there. Her mom did call twice. I let it go to voicemail both times, which for me is basically a felony. Derek's now looking at charges for driving without a license, and my name's on exactly 0 of them.